What's the fastest way to experience consistent and quality social media growth? This is a question that we get quite often from our clients in Digital Impact Academy. This is also something that we get quite often in our Facebook group. So I wanted to take this time to answer this question and give you the top things around social media growth and a real just conversational thing that you can just take what I'm going to give you and roll through the next 12 months and create some solid social media growth. So let's dive in. The first thing that I would do if you're going to have consistent social media growth is you got to focus on one platform, all right? One platform that's going to be a quick fix type of thing, and one platform that's going to give you the long-term results that you're looking for, all right? What I would do is I would figure out right now, like, what's going to be my short term? Is it going to be a Facebook group? Is it going to be Instagram or Facebook itself? Like, what is it going to be? Typically, I would suggest something that is where you can actually connect with people in a direct message, because you can create instant conversation, which can lead to, instant sales, right? And then you want to take that instantaneousness and you want to turn that into things that can be found on search, like YouTube or podcast or blog post, okay? So for instance, the other day I was asked a question about a coaching agreement, and someone asked, hey, does anyone have a coaching agreement that they can share? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll share my coaching agreement with you. But then I immediately went to YouTube and I typed in coaching agreement, and it showed that there were 600 people a month that were searching for coaching agreement. So now, not only can I help someone directly in that direct message, but now I can create a video around coaching agreements, and then people can go search that on YouTube or a blog or something like that. Okay, so you want to think like that when it comes to creating consistent social media growth, but just focus on one platform. Focus on one platform that's long and one platform that's short. All right, and then don't focus so much on like vanity numbers. As we go into this next year, don't focus so much on the vanity numbers of like 10,000 followers or 10,000 subscribers, because it doesn't matter if people don't engage. If people aren't commenting, if people aren't engaging, and it's not leading to conversation, then the content's not really doing its job. The followers don't mean anything. So don't get too caught up in vanity numbers, right? Number two is you got to make sure that you're doing the right research. This is something that just most people, they just don't do it, because yes, sometimes it can be a little hard if it's your first time doing any type of research for your social media growth, right? And what I mean by research is actually understand what are the problems, the questions, and the roadblocks that your ideal client has. What are the things that you can actually solve for this person? All right, if you don't know that, then you're kind of shooting in the dark. If you aren't clear on the result, the outcome of the transformation that your person has, then again, you're shooting in the dark. All right, take a second and just sit down and maybe ask somebody, or think back to when you had the same problems, questions, and roadblocks, or you wanted to create a certain outcome, transformation, or result in your life. And then just make a list of all the people that are already providing that solution for people. All right. If I want to start cooking and I want to be like a signature chef or something like that, well, who are the other people? I could start following Rachel Ray or Bobby Flay or whoever out there that's already, doing the cooking thing, right? I can go find other people that are doing that same thing. All right. So you want to make sure you're doing the right research, because you're not going to see consistent growth if you are talking to the wrong people and promising something that isn't consistent. Okay. The next thing is you want to be consistent on social media, and consistent doesn't mean frequency. All right. There's a difference between being consistent and post, and like how often you post. Consistent comes down to you showing up day in and day out, showing up, like not just, you're there 1 week and then, 2 weeks later you're ghosted and then you don't post for a month. I'm definitely down with posting when you have something to say, not just posting to post, but you got to show up consistently. If you post on YouTube, once a week, that's consistent. Just show up and be consistent. Being organized and like having your content in folders or having ideas ready and actually taking once a week to just sit down and plan out your content, like that can be huge. So just take the time to be organized and be ahead of the game. If you have an idea, put it in a folder. If you see something online, save it and put it in its own folder. That way, when you do your planning period once a week, then you're not starting from scratch every single week. All right. The next thing, number 4, is you got to create quality content. And this does not mean that you need to go out and get fancy equipment or do fancy graphics or anything like that. If you go back to number 2 and you've done your research, then you'll know what they deem quality and what educates them on what they actually want to know. All right. I watched a YouTube video not too long ago, and the video was blurry, but it handled everything that I needed to know for that topic. It was some update about Facebook's Business Center or something like that, and I needed that update. And so even though the video was really shitty and like the quality was really shitty, it handled the problem. And so she did a good job at that. So you don't have to have high quality visualization. I mean, it's just good content and it educates people. All right, number 5 is vulnerability. You gotta be, if you wanna consistently see social media growth, you gotta open up. You gotta tell stories. People need to know your pain. People need to know that you've been through exactly what they're going through right now so they get you. All right. We do this thing with our clients called the overcome list. And if you write down all the things that you've overcome in your life, whether it's divorce, debt, abuse, I mean, anything. I mean, just write it down. Just take a second to write that stuff down. That's the glue that when someone sees the educational post from you, but then they hear the story about how, your business crashed and you had to drive Uber just to keep the lights on, and you were still running your business during the day, but you had to drive Uber at night while you had kids and your wife was pregnant, and you were able to do that to hire a coach and get your business back on track and have your first $43,000 month. Well, that's stuff that sticks with people. Tell stories that you may be a little embarrassed about, because that can go a long way with people. All right, it creates a real connection. All right, number 6 is create content that's shareable. I like to look at this from a few different angles. All right, try to create content for your audience's audience. Okay, think about that for a quick second. If I create a video for coaches, there's a lot of coaches in our audience, and I think about, well, what's a relationship coach's audience gonna want to see? Okay, if I can create a piece of content for that person's audience, they're more likely to share. Okay, another thing is create stuff around trending topics. Going to Instagram or Facebook and going to the search bar and just typing in #trending. Going to YouTube or any social media platform, you can see what's trending. Hop on the trending train once a week and just get on the train. You don't have to do it every single day, but hop on that train will definitely help. All right, doing collaborations, interviews, looking for ways that you can fill the gaps in other people's businesses. It can make a huge difference, because if I do an interview, the person that I interview is likely going to share that content with their audience. So I've immediately created some type of shareable content that's likely going to grow my audience, where I'm going to see consistent social media growth. So you should be at least interviewing someone at least once a week. That way you can utilize the growth from someone else's audience. All right, and then create a community out of your audience. Our Facebook group is a community. We love our Facebook group. It's like family in there. So when you create a community out of something, you can create communities other places. It doesn't have to be a Facebook group, trust me. But like, if you create a community feeling out of it, the other people are going to want to invite people in. All right, and how do you create community? You just love on people. All right, that's the best way I can put it. Just love on somebody. Love them. All right, love on somebody, and you can create a community out of anywhere. You really can. You don't have to put people in a Facebook group to create this community feeling. It could be on a Facebook page. It could be on Instagram. It could be on Facebook. I mean, anywhere that you can congregate people if they show up to your live once a week, or they show up to a live once a night or once a month, it doesn't matter. You can create that community feel, loving on people and giving them quality content and being vulnerable. Like all these things, that lead up to number 6 can create that community for you. Number 7 is create searchable content. If you want to see consistent growth, kind of going back to number 1, when I say focus on one platform that's kind of immediate and then one platform that's searchable, I would highly recommend, like, how can you show up on YouTube? How can you take advantage of using the search box on YouTube that people are actively searching for a solution, or they're actively searching for something that's going to solve their problem, by using tools like TubeBuddy, using tools like Keywords Everywhere. You can figure out what people are searching for, and you can take that same piece of content. Just like I said earlier, there was a girl that was looking for a coaching agreement and we had one. So if I can position a piece of content that is around what people are looking for on YouTube or Google for a coaching agreement, then I can create searchable content that's always going to be growing our audience. And the last thing is, make sure that you're always asking for some type of call to action. If you want to continue to grow your audience, you got to keep getting in front of the same people, more than just once. Because I can't tell you how many times we've gotten in front of someone and they watch one piece of content and then you never see them again, right? You don't want that to happen. So you got to do your best to ask them to, come into your Facebook group, or ask them to download something, or even ask them to follow you, other places. Even though your focus is on one place, you want to ask the call to action to get them deeper in your world. If it's a lead magnet, if it's a webinar, if it's a call, like, create that deeper connection with them and always have some kind of call to action. That way, you can create that deeper connection with them. All right. That's how you grow on social media. If you want to see consistent quality growth to your social media accounts, that's how you do it. Just breaking it down. Make sure that you get subscribed. Make sure that you get inside of our Facebook group. If this was helpful for you, just like this, share this, do something with it, comment on it, something. And we go live every single Monday inside of our Facebook group. We'd love to connect with you. And if you want to get the ultimate social media guide for your business, the link is down here in the description or somewhere around here where you can grab that, download that, and use that inside of your business. Until then, I'm out of here. Talk to you later. Bye.